That's where I should be.
5.
At least when I zeroed out the board. Zach, thank you. I know I somewhat publicly embarrassed you there, and I apologize. And any other Sunday, of course, I let you get away with that. Cleaning up, I mean, my gosh, thank you. But this being your dad's last anthem, I didn't want the competing noise, and you weren't being perfectly rhythmic there. But thank you for catching on and for being the gracious, wonderful human you are. Today is All Saints' Day. And I know you all got up and celebrated that early.
No. Wait, I thought it was November 1st.
Technically it is, but we celebrate it in church today. It's kind of like if we have a national holiday that we have a special Monday off or something.
Like if Christmas is on a Sunday.
Or like Veterans Day next week, which will be a federal holiday on Monday, even though it falls on Sunday.
Huh?
Exactly. Next week, November 11th, is Veterans Day. It falls on Sunday, but the banks will all take the day off on Monday. And the government offices. And I'm not sure who else. Why is All Saints' Day significant for the church?
Because it has the word saints in it.
Because it has the word saints in it. That's the answer I was expecting, but not the one I was looking for. I knew I could count on you, and I'm thankful for that. It's to remember those who helped form and create the church that we have today. Is the church we have today, is this church the same as the people who went before us when they first envisioned it? No. It's different, right? There's different people here. There's different... I mean, honestly...
They didn't have that.
Oh yeah, they didn't have video. There were pews originally. I should look at those pictures. I didn't know there were pews. I remember being told about the chairs. That makes sense. So there were long benches instead of chairs. Also called pews, not shots from Star Wars. There were, honestly, don't tell. But if you told the original founders of the church that the preacher would show up in blue jeans one day, they would have been livid. Because it just wasn't the tradition back then. But now that we've become such a business casual society, you know, most of us go to work in jeans and a decent top and whatever. I mean, it's just become a different practice. So things change.
Did jeans exist back then?
Yeah, they existed. Jeans existed. They were invented in the 1840s, to my knowledge.
By Levi.
By Levi.
Levi Strauss.
Levi, the company.
Yeah.
No, by Mr. Levi.
Oh.
Or was it Mr. Strauss?
Did Mr. Levi invent?
Oh, his name was Levi. No.
But he started the company.
Oh, he started Levi Company.
Yeah, he started making these pants that were durable enough to... No, and we're not going to get derailed this way, so don't try. I'm not going down that road. So church is different. Do you imagine when you're my age, I know that's a really long time, you'll be really old by then. Do you think church will be different again?
Yeah, probably. People are just really writing hoverboards and stuff.
So they'll ride their hoverboard to church. That's good to know.
Well, actually, they're probably online.
They might not even come to church. Church will just be online. Did you know that church is already offered online?
What? No, they're just like they'll probably have some thing where you can like see God and like you can high five and like.
Here's
augmented reality.
that's awesome that you came up with that. I didn't anticipate all of that, but I love that you did it because it gets me to where I wanted to be, which is church is about community as much as it is about recognizing and worshiping God. And it's hard to be in community, which means connected to other people without being with other people. I'm not saying it can't be done, but it's harder, right? It's harder to be in a deep relationship with someone if you never see them physically, if you can never give them a handshake or a hug or a high five. Although apparently you're going to give a virtual high five to God, which sounds pretty amazing. but coming together and doing it together. Sometimes I sing hymns. You know, like the songs we do in church?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'll catch myself walking through the house singing a hymn. You know what? It doesn't sound the same as when we do it in church, when I'm singing all by myself. And it's not just because I'm not that great a singer. It doesn't sound the same because there's not community involved. There's not a lot of people joining in and lifting their praises to God. Community makes the difference. So on All Saints' Day, when we remember those that gave us the hard work, that gave us the gift of the church, we're remembering that community mattered to them so much that they wanted a place where you could get together as people and have friendships and teachers and people who care about you and love you and want to see you grow and learn about Jesus. And you know what else? Huh?
And God.
Yeah, and God. And you know what else? This community that loves you and cares about you, I promise you, every one of them anxiously wants to see the day that you make a confession of faith and are baptized.
Weren't we always like baptized when we were young or something?
You probably were. I've never had that conversation. But then it would be confirmed, which is still making that public confession of faith and completing the act of baptism. They all want that for you because it makes a difference. If you're by yourself at home on the internet, there's nobody praying for that for you.
Well, you
Community matters.
can get virtually baptized.
Patreon.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever do virtual baptism. That's kind of beyond me. I'm sorry. You just found the line and jumped right over
Wait a
it
minute,
there.
for like,
No, we're not going to wait a minute. I'm done with that one.
you get over Patreon?
No, we're done with that one. Let's pray before it gets worse. Dear God, thank you
Thank you
for those
for those
who cared
who cared
enough about community
enough about community
to create this community
to create this community
for me.
for me.
Amen.
This mailbox is mine. And this kayak is mine.
What? Aw.
Oh.
Where is he? Aw.
Oh,
Where
heck.
y'all going? Where are y'all going?
Heck, darn.